Greetings, friends. Again, what a privilege that we can study the Bible together, especially in connection with God's call and our commitment or our preparations for what God has called us to do. And we studied about how God prepared Gideon for the work he called him. And preparation, friends, is not like a one-time thing. You know, I know, we all need God all the time in our lives. And we need reconfirmations. I don't know about you, when God calls every time the different bigger things, and I always need to know, Lord, is it really you? Please confirm it. And especially when God called me to Germany, 2007, he said he will send revival in Germany, and Germany will touch Europe with the gospel again. And I'm like, I can't be that person, Lord. I cannot do that. It's too big. And I did not want to be a part in that. And I remember I told my wife, I said, babe, I'm not going back to Germany again because it's not possible. But God is so wonderful, friends. That's why it's not about you. It's not about me. It's not about us. It is about God. The God who called us, not only called us, He's with us and He's sending us and He is able to do that. So same thing we see actually with the life of Gideon. Gideon was not willing to do. He was afraid, but as he prepared to do whatever God called him to do, we have seen it in our last video that the Spirit of the Lord came upon him and he blew that trumpet. And I also want to remind you, my friend, when God calls you, you are not alone. God will give you everything you needed. I like the word vision. When God gives you a vision, there is a provision in that. The people you need, the money you need, the finances you need, the support you need. I also like that. Like I said many times, one man with God is the majority. And the man with the vision makes the difference in the society. God did not call us just for us. He called us because the community needs us. Our people needs us. The nations needs us. That's why, but the doubting things and even as a part of preparations, it's normal. If you are wondering, if God called me, why all these doubts? Why all these suspicions? Because I want to take you a couple of things with the Gideon's life before as a part of the preparation, before God started giving them people to be with him. If I read you verse 36, actually it starts from 36. And Gideon said unto God, if thou wilt save Israel by my hand, as thou hast said. Lord, if you want to save Israel, as you said to me through my hands, and he is trying to put God to a test. And he says in verse 37, behold, I'll put a fleece of wool in the floor. And he says, it should be wet by morning. There should be no wet around that, only on that. Can you imagine that after all these things that God did? That's normal, friend. It's okay if you have to go through that. If you have doubts, suspicions about God's call as you are preparing to accomplish God's call in your life, if you have doubts, it's okay. It's okay. God understands. And then Gideon gets up in the morning and he goes to see the flea. He put it up and then there is no wet around it, but it's all wet. My Bible says this guy, he took it out, he squeezes it. In verse 38, actually there is a bowl full of water. It is not just a little wet. God is so good to us. He never leaves us with any suspicions, very doubts. Why a bowl full of water? And then think of this. He was not satisfied with that too. And then he says, God, if you are in it again and again and again, so good. God understands. We are normal human beings. And verse 39, and Gideon said unto God, let not thy anger be hot against me, Lord. I will speak, but this once. Let me make a trial. I pray thee, but this one more with the fleece. Let it now be dried only upon the fleece, and upon all the ground let there be dew. And then God did that. There will be no doubts of God's call when you are preparing to do God's call. God is not a God of confusion, my friend. God is God of clarity. He understands what we go through. And as a preparation, part of the preparation, I also want you to understand, in this plan of God, you are not alone. No. You are given the men, the material, the money, whatever you need in this. You even read that in verse 34 and 35. When he blew the trumpet, the Abijah, they all came and joined him. Because, sometimes I think the reason we don't accomplish what God has called us, you think that you may have to do it alone. No. You do with God and you do with the people. So that's why I see that. If you read from chapter 7, from 1 through 8, you understand that how God joins people with you, brings people with you. Don't try to do on your own, friend. That would be a mistake. No. It's a vision given to you, but God will give people. You need to get those people on your side. Keep them. And actually what happened, there were more people than he needed. You read from chapter 7, there were 32,000 people that responded to the trumpet call of Gideon. And God looks at them and he says, there are too many. Gideon might have thought, good God, I have so many people. But for God, he doesn't need so many people. And God says, tell them, those who are fearful, in verse 3, he says, those who are fearful, ask them to go back. You would be surprised to know 22,000 people went back. They came, responded to the call of God, the trumpet that was not the trumpet of peace, trust me. That's the trumpet of war. The enemy heard it. And 22,000 people left. Is that real? Yeah. It's okay. But then God says, even 10,000 are too many, boy. Put them to test. And you know the story, like a dogs, we take them to the water. And my Bible tells me there are 300 men that stood for the test. Friend, when God calls you as a part of preparation for a victory, before God gives you victory, he gives you all this clarity of his calling to let you know that he called you, to let you know you are not alone in this. And then it's not even the end of it. I will read you verse 9 and 10. Even after all this, can you believe it? Yeah. After all this, again, verse 9, chapter 7, book of Judges. And it came to pass the same night that the Lord said unto him, arise, get thee down unto the host. I have delivered it into thine hand. But if thou fear to go down, go with Pura, the servant, down to the host. Friend, don't miss Pura with you. Don't miss the people that raised to be with you. One of the major problems I saw in the ministry is, it's most of them unfortunate. It's like a one-man show. No. This is one God show. God is one, but many people coming together to accomplish one vision. And you have people, you need to see them, you need to identify them, you need to involve them. In that way, they are with you, my friend. They are with you. If God can look at you and see that God can use you, what would stop you to see the other people around you and to see that God can use them too? That's some of them, that's the main problem with the leadership. We don't see the other people as equally with us. That if God can use us, my friend, God can use them too. Because it's God who gave you to do. And we need them. That's one of the important aspects as a part of preparation for God's call in our lives. Don't try to fight the battle on your own. That's not God's will. You have the people with you. Get the people on your side. Work together. I like that. Pray together. Proclaim together. Profit together. Work together. Walk together to accomplish God's purposes. So, before I take you to the victory, the final point, I want you to understand this is not just your job. God called you, but He gave you people already, whatever all you needed. Vision with provision. You need to identify them, see them, and train them. As you prepared, Gideon prepared his heart, cleaned up his life. You need to help people with their lives to prepare them as a part of God's plan for all our lives together for the victory. So friend, get ready for the plan for the victory. Call, commitment to be conquerors. God bless you.